Attention, Madridistas! Breathtaking news. Vinicius Jr. has received a truly astronomical offer from Saudi football. Numbers that could smash every transfer and salary record in the sport, and insiders say the deal is dangerously close to getting real. Strap in. Before we go any further, hit that like button right now, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, and share this with that friend who never stops talking about Real Madrid in the group chat. That way you won't miss anything about the biggest club in the world, and you massively help our work. Thank you. Deep breath, because today is a heavy-hitting combo. A medical update on Jude Bellingham after surgery, Xabi Alonso's direct request to the board to reinforce the backline, with one name gaining real momentum, and the full breakdown of Saudi Arabia's mega bid for Vinicius Jr. Let's go step by step so you understand exactly what's happening now and what it could mean for the future of Real Madrid. Let's start with Jude Bellingham. The English midfielder, Real Madrid's number 5, has already undergone the required surgical procedure, and everything went well. Right after the operation, he posted a photo from his hospital bed, smiling and giving a thumbs up, signaling the surgery was a success. And he didn't stop there. Bellingham used the post to thank, by name, the professionals who stood by him through this delicate process. He wrote, "I want to thank Andrew Wallace, Susan Alexander, their teams, and all the staff at Clinica Fortius for the excellence of the treatment and the incredible hospitality." He also made a point of highlighting the support that came directly from Real Madrid. According to Jude, Ivan Ortega and Dr. Leyes traveled specifically to be by his side through each stage of the operation and the start of rehab. The midfielder described it as a huge gesture from the club and said he felt truly cared for. And of course, he didn't forget the fans. Thank you to all the supporters and teammates who sent messages of encouragement. I'm very grateful for every word. Now I'm fully focused on getting back. See you soon. Powerful message, emotional, competitive, and pure Bellingham. So, how long until that, see you soon? Early medical projections point to roughly 3 months out, always depending on individual recovery, but that's the working window. 3 months early in the 2025 to 2026 season could mean something like 10 official matches missed, depending on scheduling across La Liga, the opening stretch of the Champions League, and possibly Super Cup or domestic cup dates. For a player who has changed the level of Madrid's midfield since day one, that's a tactical wallet full of value suddenly missing. And that leads straight to Xabi Alonso's first structural test since taking charge. How do you compensate for life without Bellingham? Under Carlo Ancelotti, Jude alternated between advanced midfielder crashing the box, ghost second striker in transitions, and even deeper linker in medium blocks. Pulling that piece out forces shifts in high press timing, half-space occupation at the edge of the box, and the rhythm of fast breaks after midfield recoveries. Xabi, who favors positional control with triggered, supported progression, has 3 immediate pathways. 1. Thicken midfield possession. Push Valverde higher while Tchouaméni or Camavinga anchor inside. 2. Slide Rodrigo situationally into a false attacking mid-zone to keep between the lines threat. Or 3. Rotate in academy talent for controlled minutes while Jude recovers. Each option changes how Vinicius receives wide service and how the team floods the penalty area. But if creativity takes a hit in midfield, the defense has also been crying out for help, and not just recently. After that painful semi-final elimination to Paris Saint-Germain at the last Club World Cup, the word around Real Madrid City was self-criticism. The tournament exposed weaknesses that a good run of domestic results had been masking. Sloppy lateral cover rotations, slow reaction on cross assignments, and vulnerability to long balls targeting space behind the last line. In big matches, every detail is a blade. Florentino Perez and the board took note. Result, reinforcing the backline climbed to the top of the priority list for the next window. And one name is echoing louder and louder in Valdebebas, Piero Hincapié. The 23-year-old Ecuadorian centre-back, a standout at Bayer Leverkusen, yes, the German side formerly coached by Xabi Alonso, brings youth with a veteran's calm. Left-footed, sharp at reading play, quick to recover into challenges, and comfortable building out from the back. On top of that, he can play left center-back or tuck in as a defensive left-back in a back four. Versatility Xabi's staff loves for asymmetric tactical tweaks. What the technical department likes is the total package. Already tested in high-level European competition, raised in a system that demands brave build-up, and still room to grow physically and in decision speed. Internal chatter says Xabi, who knows the player up close, has given the green light for Madrid to move if conditions allow. Allow, of course, in Real Madrid language. Leverkusen reportedly won't make it easy and value the defender at around €50 million or more depending on add-ons. Expensive? Yes. But compare that with the sporting cost of another season defensively exposed when knockout football arrives. Why the urgency? Because despite big names, Antonio Rudiger, David Alaba, Eder Militao, the group has struggled for continuity in fitness and pairings. Sequential injuries, forced minutes, side switches, emergency cover. At times Madrid had to patch defensive phases with players from other roles dropping in to seal channels. You remember wingers tracking almost as stand-in fullbacks. When structure leans on bandages, risk explodes in elimination ties. Investing in Hincapie, or someone with that profile, is both a short-term fix and a long-term layer of security. Alright, time for the headline that hits heart, wallet, and identity. Vinicius Jr. and the Saudi mega offer. The 25-year-old Brazilian forward, who reached insane highs and became a face of Madrid's attack, is under heavy scrutiny. A dip in form plus a stall in contract talks to extend through 2030 has opened space for aggressive speculation. And when there's space, Saudi football arrives with money convoys. This time the numbers are wild. Talk is of a total salary package in the region of €1 billion. Yes, €1 billion, spread across 5 seasons. That averages about €200 million per year when you factor in fixed salary, structured bonuses, and linked commercial agreements. For Real Madrid, an initial €300 million transfer figure is said to have been floated, at least in exploratory conversations. And as if that weren't enough, reports suggest one of the most aggressive clubs in the Saudi league, Al Ahly, often pronounced Al-Ahly on some broadcasts, is preparing to scale the bid to €350 million to drag Florentino to the negotiating table. If formalized, those numbers would eclipse anything the professional game has ever seen. Which raises the questions every Madridista is asking. Would Real Madrid actually sell its one-on-one difference maker for a record-obliterating fee? Would Vinicius trade Champions League nights, Clásicos, the Bernabeu, and a shot at sporting legacy for a historic contract? Or is this Saudi interest a lever to restart and improve renewal talks in Madrid? Important, at this stage, what's circulating is a mix of inquiries, exploratory numbers, strategic leaks, and public pressure. People close to the talks insist the Saudis won't back off even if renewal discussions reignite. The plan is to push to the limit. Vinicius' camp is also weighing more than raw salary. Career arc, competitive level, global visibility, and implications for the Brazilian national team in upcoming major tournaments. Leaving Europe still raises doubts for players chasing Ballon d'Or dreams and long-term football legacy. Now connect the dots. Bellingham sidelined temporarily, a costly defensive rebuild on the agenda, and Saudi clubs ready to dump hundreds of millions on a key squad asset. Put it together and you get financial, political, and sporting pressures that could reshape Real Madrid's planning for coming windows. Selling Vinicius for a record haul would generate massive liquidity to retool the backline, midfield cover, and future attacking depth, while trimming wage exposure. But Madrid would lose charisma, spontaneous dribble chaos, and left flank verticality. Refuse to sell, and the club doubles down on sporting identity, but must navigate a monster renewal and mounting fan tension if the player's form doesn't rebound quickly. So how would Xabi Alonso adapt in a post-Vinicius scenario, if it ever came to that? Quick hypotheticals: Rodrigo gets freer roaming rights, Endrick, depending on integration timing, sees accelerated minutes, the club fast-tracks a different wing target, or the shape shifts toward interior play with fullbacks providing the width. None of these replicate Vini's acceleration, close control dribbling, or chemistry with the Bernabeu. That's why the board will tread very carefully, but money has a way of changing conversations. Circling back to the defense, because all of this is interconnected, a major sale would turbocharge any Hincapie move. But even without selling Vinicius, the need remains. The season is long, the competitions pile up, and Madrid has learned the hard way that patchwork defending costs trophies. Ideally, say internal analysts, you add a young defender ready to fight for minutes now, deepening the depth chart without rushing injured returnees or overextending Rudiger. So let's do this. Drop a comment. Would you sell Vinicius Jr. for $300 million? $350 million? Or keep him at all costs? And what about Hincapie at $50 million? Smart investment or overspend? How would you set up the midfield for the next 3 months without Bellingham? I really want to see what our Madridista community thinks. Your debates always enrich upcoming videos. By the way, If you've made it this far and still haven't liked the video, now's the time. Your like and subscription help this channel reach Madridistas all over the world. Turn on notifications so you don't miss urgent updates, because if any of these stories break in the coming days, we'll be back fast with everything that changes. Quick recap before we wrap. Bellingham, successful surgery, thanking the medical team and the club, roughly 3-month recovery window, meaning Xabi Alonso must reconfigure his midfield. The board, still stinging from the Club World Cup exit to PSG, has made defensive reinforcement a priority, with Piero Hincapié a serious target despite the price. And the bombshell, a gigantic Saudi offer for Vinicius Jr, with numbers that could rewrite football history if they go official. The board is watching, the market is moving, the next few weeks will be wild. What do you make of all this? Drop your comment, hit like, share this video, and let's grow the conversation. Thanks for watching, Madridista. See you next time with more Real Madrid news. Hala Madrid!